Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton. The Lord decided to wake me up and bless me with yet another day, getting me to Thursday, planting my feet on the floor and getting me over to our Black Talk radio show, and I'm happy to say he did the same for Eddie Francis.
Hey, good
Woke
morning.
you up too.
Good morning. Still trying to wake up.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Well, happy that you made it over. So, how was your drive?
Oh, it was smooth. It was pretty good.
Very
Can't
good.
complain.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, if you have not been outside yet, it's a nice sunny day, and it's currently about 78 degrees with a feel like of 82. And looks like it's going to be going up to about 83 or so. So a relatively tight range of 78 to 83. However, the humidity, it is New Orleans, so that's going to be about 73%. So just keep that in mind. There's about 15% chance of rain. So you may not see rain, but somebody is likely to see rain.
Yep.
So somewhere, somebody is going to see rain. But and this nice, partly cloudy day is going to get more cloudy during the day. So if you are one to be concerned about the weather, like so many of us, you might want to prepare accordingly. So just because the bright sun is out right now, just think about what it might be like in a few hours, because it's going to be cloudy and it's going to be dreary, and it is going to rain somewhere. 15%, probably not going to be all over New Orleans and St. Tammany and Jefferson Parish and St. Bernard, but it's probably going to rain somewhere.
Yep.
So,
Somewhere.
Yep. So take that into consideration as you go about your day, and look for good things to happen, because it's a wonderful and beautiful Thursday, even when it turns cloudy. I think it's a wonderful thing to be here. So we had a good conversation yesterday with criminal court judge Rhonda Good Douglas. So those of you who follow these kinds of things, you know she hasn't been talking to other folks anywhere, and she provided an opportunity for WBOK family of listeners to speak directly to them and her thoughts and how she found out about the bill being changed and moving the seniority-based list of 3 judges to a list of the 2 judges from that list, John Fuller and Simone Levine, on to her being added to that list. And for a recap for those who didn't hear it, she said she was stunned, bewildered. She was surprised. Her complete life has changed for a few hours, and come Sunday night when she got a text. And then on Monday, as the bill's language was being changed and approved, and that was not changed. The desire was that perhaps that was just a placeholder or something, because bills can be changed up to the last minute, and by God, it was close to the last minute. And that bill was approved by the legislature, and it's on its way to the governor. Some of you all may have seen a column that I wrote on NOLA.com saying the governor has three choices to sign the bill whenever he receives it, and then it would become law, to not sign the bill, and then it would become law without his signature after the number of days, 10 to 20 days goes by without a governor consideration and action. And then the third is to veto the bill, which would mean that all those cuts that they have been after would not go into effect. So she would keep her seat, Levine and Fuller would keep their seats, and the other judges would get to keep their seats as well. But then the governor tweeted something yesterday, and I don't know if he saw and didn't like my column saying he should veto the bill. But he put out a note and said, of course, I'm going to sign the bill. I'm going to sign Senate Bill 217 into law, exclamation point.
Mm.
So let's be clear. I may have called her the best judge.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he didn't like it. Nobody talked to him. But in the end, he said he's going to sign it. What he didn't say is when.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to put this thought into the atmosphere. There have been times where, with an exclamation mark, I have said, I am not going there.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to do that. And I am standing there because I'm too tired, or because I just don't want to go again, or I don't want to see those people right now, and then the Lord touches me and then I go. Now, will that happen to Governor Jeff Landry? I don't know. What do you think, Eddie France?
I don't know. I couldn't even begin to tell you. That's Landry's head is one head I don't want to live in. I truly don't. I truly don't. I mean, it's anybody's game with him as long as he gets to get the final say on whatever it is he's talking about. So yeah, couldn't begin to tell you.
Yep. Well, he certainly has the final say. It's his choice. The legislature did what he wanted them to do, and so we'll see what happens there. And we also have other news in the world today, and that includes that there was a 5-star defensive end who was committed to LSU, and he switched that pledge from LSU to Miami. That's 5-star edge rusher Jaden Bryant. He was number 2 edge runner in the country and a top 20 recruit from the class of 2027. Went to high school in South Carolina. And I'm bringing this up in the context of, I think it's going to be interesting to watch what a number of these high school athletes do with the NAACP, CBC call for them not to go to these higher ed institutions in states where they are doing significant redistricting and dilution of the black vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so he graduated in South Carolina, where they've been threatening and to redistrict even James Clyburn out of office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They, of course, in Louisiana, changed the map from 4-2 to 5-1. So he's committed to LSU in a state with redistricting issues. And then now he's going to Miami, where in Florida, they have made quite a number of changes there because the governor said we need to do what's right and get in line, and Florida will be one that is among the leaders of doing this. So,
Hmm.
so I'm not saying. I mean, I appreciate the guy is very talented and has options, but it's going to be interesting to watch some of these players and see where they decide to go or where they decommit from and to as the out of bounds push continues with the NAACP.
Yeah, yeah. I, I do wonder what his motivation for it is. To me, if his motivation is anything other than making this statement that aligns with NAACP and CBC, then it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
unless Bryant comes out and says um, something to the effect of, I want to go where my values are going to be, respected.
Yeah.
If he says something like that, then I think that's a signal. But if it's just, yeah, I just think Miami is a better team.
Or they giving me more money.
Or they give me, yeah, the NIL deal is just much better at Miami, which it
Mhm.
most likely it really could be. Then that would be the thing that I'm looking for. The thing that is so interesting is to how many people say, "Oh no, you can't do that to these kids." But I have a cousin who played college ball who told me you could go to Tapioca Tech and the NFL is going to find you.
Mm-hmm.
He said you don't have to go to one of the big programs. He said, you know what I mean? And he told me this. He said, you know how many people from the big programs thought they were going to the NFL and they didn't even get drafted?
That's a good point.
And so he goes, but do you know how many people who didn't go to big programs who got drafted, or at least they went in as free agents and they were able to get a job with the team? So, I really like what the NAACP is doing with this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of I made this point actually in an Instagram discussion. I said, once upon a time, this was the reality. Black players couldn't play at Alabama. They couldn't play at LSU. They
Yeah.
couldn't play at any of the SEC schools. And HBCUs had all the talent. So
Mhm.
why don't we turn that clock back?
Well,
And
I hear what you're
I
saying.
know it's a tough argument. I know.
No. I mean, there are quite a number of people where you are. That's not where I am, in part because we don't have that reality anymore where some of the best players or all of the best black athletes for football,
Hmm.
but other sports too, go to HBCUs because there are so many opportunities at the larger university. Once they realize they're black, but they can play and they're really good and they can help us win,
Hmm.
they kind of like it now
Yeah.
and they want to keep it that way.
Hmm.
So my concern, as I wrote about it, with it, is it just feels too loosey goosey. Just don't go to any of them.
Right. Right.
And so I think if they were to target the worst offender,
Hmm.
whatever however they identify that,
Hmm.
maybe it's one of these big schools who traditionally win, and among the black football players, there's a 4% graduation rate.
Hmm.
It's something like that.
No, those
Yeah,
definitely
right.
exist. They
Yeah,
definitely do.
yeah.
And not
So
to
anyway, so
mention,
that's it. That's just a little different perspective on it. Um,
yeah,
and I do like they have expanded it into the corporate world.
yeah, yeah,
So I like that.
yeah. And the other thing to take into consideration is that now you have West Coast institutions that are part of the Big Ten. So if they
That's
still
right.
if they still want to play power, power four football, they could go to, I think, UCLA, and USC definitely is part of the Big Ten right now. They have those institutions. Indiana won the national championship last year, so you still have the Big Ten as an option. And right now the Pac-12 is trying to rebuild, and so there's a great opportunity there for any young football players who actually want to get behind this and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to play in any of the SEC schools. I think I do want to go play in a Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rebuilding conference, and there's some teams on the way up, and I want to be part of that. So that could be a possibility too. Um, so yeah, we will see where where students' conscience takes them.
Yeah, I mean, and as I noted in the column, though, I have some concerns about the strength and the shape of the effort.
Yeah.
If they get one kid highly recruited by whoever in the news, maybe even committed,
Hmm.
and he comes out and says, "This was fully my intention. The NAACP has made me think, and I have decided that I'm going to go out, not to this university, not in this state, not in the South, and I'm going to go to University of Michigan,
Hmm.
or something like that." But of course, he wouldn't do that without having something worked out.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get on the line a man who knows something about this. Good morning, Ro Brown. You're on with Will Sutton and Eddie Francis.
I don't know any more than Will Sutton and Eddie Francis do.
Well, okay? You know about people who make commitments, and there was a development with Ole Miss, right?
Well, I mean, it's over the weekend, 2 local players committed to Ole Miss.
What schools?
You know,
From
I
what schools?
it's Miguel Whitley from St. Aug and Jules Baptiste from Carr.
Mm.
And I've always, what I've always said about this. Well, let me ask you one thing. What kind of comments have you heard about the NAACP and the CBC's stance or call for a boycott? What comments have you heard from these schools?
I haven't seen any.
Nothing.
There you go. Yeah, they haven't said anything about it, and probably won't say anything about it.
Going on with their business.
Yep.
I think that's your point.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep, going on about their business. And, like I've said before, I've said for years, I think something like this would be great. I've always felt that college football was the only thing that would get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Of why, I do. I think that's the only thing that would get their attention.
It got Mississippi's attention with the kid from Mississippi State a few years ago.
Absolutely. Changed the flag. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, right. I questioned that.
Well,
okay.
I don't know. I did.
Certainly it was a part of it.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Okay.
But I just, I just think that, I've always hoped that something like this could be done. And I still do. But I've also thought that ship has sailed and it's not going to happen.
Yep.
And to the people who say that it's not fair to the kids, you shouldn't put that kind of pressure on young people. You shouldn't do that to, deny them of, what they've worked so hard for, and just shouldn't be placed on young people. My answer to that was always the people who were on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and the people who were in the park there in Birmingham with the hoses and fire hoses and dogs turned on them look totally different. The people in the Edmund Pettus Bridge were older people. The people in that park with those dogs and the fire hoses, those were kids. Think about it. Those were kids. Those were kids that just got out of school that day. So, I think it's a whole lot less pressure on a black kid to decide whether or not he wants to take his $1 million from LSU or from Ohio State.
All right, I hear you, Ro Brown.
That's a whole lot less pressure. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, we're going to go to break. Thanks for calling in, Ro. Lord's blessings. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ro. Appreciate you.
All right, that was Ro Brown calling in with a little additional information and context. I'm Will Sutton here with Eddie Francis, and we're going to be going to a break. If it's Thursday, of course, it is time for Congressman Troy Carter, and we're going to have, we're scheduled to have a special guest today calling in to talk about the Essence Festival. So we can talk about the Essence Festival, how things were over the last few decades, the last few years, and of course last year with all the things that happened and the national discussion about Essence Fest and is it the same, not the same, should it be the same, and what went wrong, and all of that. Well, they promised to do better, take it on the chin and do better. So Mr. Richelieu Dennis from Essence will be on with the WBOK family of listeners. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that coming up on the Good Morning Show. It is 7:22 a.m. You got somewhere to be at 7:25. You might want to make sure you are close to where you're supposed to be because you only have 3 minutes. We will have some time for some calls today if people want to get on the line. And please make sure you pay attention to what the segment is about. and then otherwise, if it's something else, we will probably have some time for that at some point during the show. And that talk line number, Eddie, what's that number?
504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are today's headlines. The New Orleans Police Department is set to discuss public safety enforcement after they say they learned about an upcoming illegal street takeover. We did not get any more details on what this street takeover means or when it is supposed to happen. NOPD will hold a news conference at 1:30 this afternoon. A judge is giving both sides more time in the appeal of a former New Orleans police officer sitting right now on death row. Antoinette Frank killed her partner and 2 restaurant owners during a robbery in 1995 in New Orleans East. At a hearing yesterday, Frank now alleges that her co-defendant put a gun to her head, and that is why she shot and killed the victims. Investigators also say some of the evidence may be missing or could have been destroyed during Hurricane Katrina. The judge says both sides have until October to say why or why not Frank should get post-conviction relief. And Governor Jeff Landry says he will sign the bill that cuts down the number of Orleans judges. That bill was supposed to eliminate 3 criminal court judges in a first-in, last-out formula, but in an 11th-hour decision, lawmakers decided to remove seasoned judge Rhonda Good Douglas. It has received backlash, including from the governor, who said the bill removed one of the best from the bench. On social media, Governor Jeff Landry blamed Democratic State Senator Gary Carter, saying that he manipulated the bill to protect a family member's job. Carter responded, saying that he was opposed to cutting the judges, but did not address the allegation about working to protect a family member. And that is a look for you at today's headlines. I'm Elizabeth Kubel for WBOK. Have a great day, everyone.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Fridays right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Step back in time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum, located in the heart of the Warehouse District in New Orleans. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling America's story in the war that changed everything, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. It's an experience. Plan your visit today at nationalww2museum.org. World War II Museum, where history lives.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Slightly drier feel to the air as we are looking at slightly lower humidity. Highs today will still be into the low to mid 80s, partly cloudy skies. We're also still looking at some scattered chances for showers and thunderstorms, especially for the afternoon. Not looking at a whole lot, though, compared to previous days. As we are heading into Friday on into the weekend, an increased chance for rain as Gulf moisture starts to move in our area. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reshaw.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
New Orleans, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. This is Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis. And if it's Thursday morning, it is time for Congressman Troy Carter. Welcome to the Good Morning Show, Congressman. You're on Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Will and Ed. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Fabulous. Well, man, oh man, there's been a lot going on.
Lots of moving parts, man. Our democracy is being challenged at every level.
Yeah, and it just keeps going, and
and we've got to keep going too.
Right.
You know, we've got to keep going too. The saying that says, "When you're going through hell, keep going."
Yep. Well, of course, there's the high-profile stuff with redistricting, and then the Supreme Court made an Alabama ruling, which didn't help things, and we are starting to see some of the effects of this in states as different governmental bodies look at what this means in their communities. And you've told the listeners before that this was not just about one congressional district, and we are seeing the impact of that for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you look at what's happening across the country, this is a frontal attack. And Donald Trump has not been shy about what his efforts are. His efforts are to ensure that he remains in power, that he blocks the will of the people by any means necessary, even if that means cheating. And that's exactly what he's doing. There's no two ways about it. To do mid-decade reapportionment is not the norm. And to make a call where this all started, with him making a call to the governor of Texas saying, I need 5 more seats. And that started this avalanche of, in Louisiana, of course. If you look at Louisiana, our elections had started. Some 40,000+ ballots had been mailed in. Our senior citizens, many of which were up in the twilight ages, some as much as 100 years old, had cast their ballot. Well, that is the quintessential definition of an irreparable harm. And unfortunately, our governor on 60 Minutes said, no big deal, let them vote again. It's just not that easy.
Yeah, and I know it's wrong for all kinds of reasons, but I was thinking about this because back when the presidential election was happening, had a friend, I have to say because he switched parties, got really engaged, saw that the Republican leader was just going so far, and changed the registration, actually did some campaigning, and planned to vote, and died. So by stalling this way, there are people who could not be with us to cast another ballot at all. So something else for folks.
In fact, and that's why this precious right should never be wasted.
Right.
For the very fact that you just mentioned, for the people who died trying to get us this right, for the people who sacrificed on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, for the people who sacrificed having dogs sucked on them and spat on and beaten with billy clubs, for the people who stood before racist registrar voters who challenged them to tell them how many jelly beans were in a jar, or to recite the preamble of the Constitution, or to tell them how many bubbles are in a bar of soap. If that doesn't make you angry of how our grandmothers and grandfathers were treated, men and women of dignity, treated like trash when they tried to vote, regardless of who you vote for, you got to wake up every time there's an opportunity to vote and make it the most important thing you do that day. You got to do it. Project 2025 was a program, or is a program, that they showed us their entire hand. Look how I am going to hurt you. I'm going to tell you. If someone said tomorrow when you walk by on Canal Street at the corner of St. Charles and Canal, I'm going to slap you. Now, would you go to that same corner and not be prepared? Of course you would.
Right.
Because you were told someone's going to jump you. Either you're not going to go there, or you're going to go there ready to defend yourself. We were told that we were going to be slapped with Project 2025, and we still didn't vote. So now we have to demonstrate that. Unfortunately, we had to learn by fire, but let's learn nonetheless. And let's vote every single time there's an election. Make it like breathing air, drinking water, walking your dog, eating your food. It has to become second nature. And then we will show the haters. We will show those who want to take away our rights. We will show those who want to roll the clock back. We'll show those who want to take food out of our babies' mouths. We'll show those who don't want to educate our children. We'll show those who want to take away our health care. We'll show those who want to take away the comfort of our senior citizens. We will show them who want to keep us working at minimum wage and not opening economic opportunities for people all over the country. We'll show them that we're not going to let them continue to beat black men and women in communities just because they can when we vote.
So, Congressman, shifting gears a little bit, you have been, again, working across the aisle. So this time with Congressman James Moylan of Guam, actually, Republican out of there. Tell us about the Student Suicide Prevention Awareness Act.
Yeah, that's something I'm very proud of. You know, since COVID has demonstrated to us that we have a real serious epidemic on our hands that has gone unnoticed, and people don't talk about it nearly enough, and that is the level of mental health issues that we have that manifest themselves in suicides. So what I introduced was a bipartisan bill, the Student Suicide Prevention Awareness Act, which would expand grants to support public awareness campaigns addressing youth mental health in middle schools and high schools. Specifically, the program would encourage schools to update their signage on campus to inform students of the Suicidal Mental Health Services Administration, or often known as SAMHSA. It would remind them about the 988 Suicide Crisis Hotline that is 100% free, 24/7 manned or personed, someone, man or woman's on the phone 365 days a year, 24/7, that you can call at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're feeling depressed and you're contemplating hurting yourself or someone else. You just need somebody to talk to. This suicide prevention line is there. Proud to have fully funded it. It is in place, and you can pick up the phone and talk to someone. They won't ask your name. They won't ask your address. They won't ask you. They won't trace your line. If you want help, they'll send help. If you don't, you just want to talk to someone, they'll do it. They'll direct you to other services that you can access. This is a way to demonstrate that mental health and suicide knows no party, knows no race, knows no socioeconomic strata, knows no zip code. I'm proud to say that my dear sister, Delisha Boyd, on the state level, just passed state legislation that would create this same formula at the state level. My formula would make it nationwide.
Wow. So where does that stand in the legislative sausage making process? And
well, in the state legislature, State Representative Delisha Boyd's bill was just signed into law. So it is the law of the land in Louisiana now. My bill was introduced, and it's now going through the sausage-making process. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted as we go through. I'm happy to say that we've got significant support on both sides of the aisle because, again, mental health is a real issue. When you see a brother and sister on the street corner shadow boxing or talking to themselves, that's the face of mental health gone wrong. And we know that it's not an insurmountable task. People are suffering, many of which are our veterans who've gone off to fight in wars and to protect us, who came home and is in need of help and unfortunately find themselves on the street. Never drive by again thinking, you bum, get a job, you wino, you crackhead. That's somebody's child, man. That's somebody's brother, mother, sister, aunt, uncle. You don't know what they're going through. Everybody's not out scamming. Many of these people are dealing with significant mental health issues that, if given an opportunity, could be better. So don't be so quick to just judge someone and say that they're just a bum. Many of these people are fighting significant mental health issues, and sometimes that sip of wine or a hit on a crack pipe is the only thing they can get to quiet the voices in their heads. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in any way suggesting that that's the answer, but people don't know what else to do. So it's incumbent upon us, their government, their churches, their nonprofits, their communities, to weigh in on education and funding for mental health.
Okay. So,
and that's what I'm doing every day.
All right. You also been looking to protect our seafood industry in Louisiana. And tell us
our
bit about that.
Our seafood industry and our sugar cane.
Yeah.
We know that, and I'll start with our seafood. You know, the seafood industry, myself and Clay Higgins, someone that I very rarely ever agree with. We are philosophically and ideologically worlds apart in most cases. But it makes sense when we have the opportunity to work together that we're able to protect Louisiana's shrimp industry that produces about 100 million pounds annually, nearly 50% of the Gulf shrimp landing over the last 25 years. And we want to make sure that they are not being unfairly discriminated against by foreign actors. So we sent a 301 letter, which is essentially an investigation letter to the Ambassador Jameson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative, to investigate any discriminatory practices that would unfairly challenge our products and our produce in Louisiana. The exact same thing with our sugar. Sugar cane is a major part of our economy. This was a bicameral and bipartisan letter. We had some 112 of my colleagues to join me in signing on to this letter. You know that sugarcane production is a cornerstone of Louisiana's economy. Sugarcane industry is approximately 13 million tons of sugarcane produced right here in Louisiana, some 400,000 acres in Louisiana. There's no wonder why we have the Sugar Bowl. It's not because it just sounds good. It's because Louisiana is such an incredible producer of sugar for the entire country. And these industries hire our people. They pay taxes in our communities. They provide resources for our schools, for our activities, our hospitals, our children, our seniors. So fighting to make sure that they are being treated fairly and not being discriminated against is something that I'm very, very proud of. And again, it's one of those bipartisan issues that affect people throughout the state, from the producer who puts the seed in the ground and harvests it to the person that processes it and the person that bags it and the person that ultimately buys it in the grocery store. We're all impacted.
You know, Congressman, I have to say, I didn't have on my bingo card Congressman Troy Carter and Clay Higgins working together on the bill.
It wasn't on mine either. But you know what I've said, and I say it repeatedly? I'll work with anyone who's willing to do the right thing at any given time. If you're willing to help me help the people of Louisiana, if you're willing to help me help the people of our communities get food, get shelter, get water, get jobs, get safety, bring it on. Bring it on. Because we don't have the luxury of saying I won't work with anyone. I will work with anyone as long as their hands are clean and they're willing to do the right thing for the people that we jointly represent. And you're right. That wouldn't have been on my bingo card either. But listen, if it gets us to knock on the table and scream bingo, I'll go for it.
I hear you.
All right. We'll be watching that to see how that moves along. And you know, one thing about this particular duo on this is you've got a base and colleagues and supporters and friends who you know, very easily open to listening to, why do you want to do this? What difference does it make? But he does too. And in a number of those cases, it's going to be different people. So with Clay Higgins saying, you know, here's why, and come on board, and it's like, but you with that Democrat, it's like, yes, I am, but I want to get things done, and it's something you can do the same. And so that's
and working with a Republican or an independent doesn't in any way take any shade or pride away from my Democratic cred. I'm a 100% Democrat, but I will work and fight to make sure that in this system of democracy, people have to work together to get things done. And that has been the mantra of my entire career. If you trace my career back to its earliest beginnings, you will find a Troy Carter who is willing to roll up his sleeves and work with anyone who's willing to come up with meaningful, honest, fair, equitable solutions.
Yep. Okay. Well, of course, if it's Thursday and it's Congressman Troy Carter Day, then our first call is, you guessed it, Reverend Calhoun. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You're on with Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and of course, Congressman Troy Carter.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, Rev.
I'm sorry.
I just said good morning, Rev.
Yeah. Is there any tracking, any data that's being produced, being looked at in terms of what resources, what funding, or how much funding has been cut to this state since the election of Jim Crow and Junior. Jim Crow and
there's lots of data. There's lots of data out there, and some of it has been cut.
How much money are we losing? That's not coming. That would have came to the state of Louisiana. Will have come to the people of Louisiana. We know that terrific bill that you and Joe Biden put money, actual money, down into this state. Since President Trump, whatever you want to call him, he has been in office. Look like our money is going to the war and all these other places. How much money is there? A record that shows how much money is being lost at this point in time. And I'll sit back and listen at you, Doc.
All right.
Thank you, Reverend Calhoun. Always very profound comments and observations. And you're correct. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been steered away from resources that we previously funded. As you recall, one of the earliest battles we had was challenging this president on the authorities of Congress versus the executive branch. Of course, the Constitution is very clear over who has the power of the purse. Yet the president and a complicit Republican Congress has allowed him to claw back resources that we previously apportioned. Just yesterday, I had the new Secretary of DHS of Homeland Security to be before my committee, and I challenged him on the millions of dollars in programming, some for the city of New Orleans, some for the parish of St. Bernard, some throughout the state, of resources that have been held up, money that was a part of our recovery from past storms that Secretary Noem froze. And I challenged the new secretary to do the right thing, to not fall into the same patterns of what Secretary Noem had done. In fact, when we're done today, guys, I will send you a copy of the clip, and I encourage others to go and see it online at Rep. Troy Carter, my Instagram post, or any of my other social media, where we routinely put these things on so the public can be aware. At prompt Rep. Troy Carter at across all social media, but in this case, this is on Instagram, where we challenge and talk about these dollars. So the quick answer is hundreds of millions of dollars have been deterred away from the issues that we put money in. When we look at the environmental injustices, the money that we put in, the most that we've ever did in the history of our country in this $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill to make sure that our communities are in a position to protect themselves and to discourage the kind of pollution and waste that's harmful for people to breathe and drink. Those funds have been cut, taken away. And every day we fight to try to restore them. And we'll continue to do that. But the best way to do that, Rev, is folk got to get out and vote. We got to take the House back in November and then stop the bleed and then start the recovery of bringing those dollars back home.
Okay. Good answer for that. I know Reverend Calhoun was listening, as he always does. So thank you, Reverend Calhoun, for calling in and making this an even more valuable conversation with Congressman Troy Carter. All right. So, Congressman, as you look at what's happening in the national scene, one of the things I'm curious about is this hasn't been getting a whole lot of attention, but it's this structure or this building that the president wants to put up on the Virginia side of the bridge that would block the view between the Lee area and the Lincoln Memorial. Is that something that Congress plays a role with, or what? Because it doesn't seem like a good idea, but
it's a horrible idea, and of course we play a role, but the problem that you have is in this system of checks and balances, where we are supposed to be the counterweight to these kind of crazy ideas. Yeah, I said it. Crazy ideas. But a complicit party that the president boasts of controlling are letting him do it. They know in their hearts of hearts it's wrong. Just like they knew it was wrong for him to add his name to the Kennedy Center. My God, a building that was built in memory and in a memorial to John F. Kennedy. Why do you think you can just put your name on it? And why do you think you can just tear down the east wing of the White House? And why do you think you can build a motorsport that now he says he wants to make? What is not motorsport? What is it? These cage fighting.
Oh yeah, UFC, MMA, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, MMA, whatever that he's building that was going to be a part of a 250th anniversary. Now he's saying he wants to make it permanent. He wants to make the White House a clown show, a circus. And regardless of your party, Democrat, Republican, independent, agnostic, you've got to say, wait a minute, man, you've gone too far. You've gone too far in so many ways. You've gone too far with your big, ugly bill that rips away health care for 17 million people. You've gone too far when you take us into a war that you had no plan to get in or get out and put all of our people at harm's way. You've gone too far when now you want to take away vaccinations on things like measles that we conquered, and now people are again dying from it. You've gone too far when you're now talking about wanting to make the White House a circus. Listen, it's bad enough that you're a clown. Let's not make the whole White House a circus to match you.
All right, we got another caller. Good morning, Alicia. You're on with Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and Congressman Troy Carter.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Congressman. See, I didn't call you Councilman this time.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so aware of all the stuff that you do. And I like to give credit when credit is due. You see that Representative Beatty? And you've brought her to New Orleans several times, along with Jasmine, to come before our community and talk about the fight that you all are doing up there. I can't remember exactly. I have it. I put it on my Facebook post. I'm going to have to send it to you. Where she was dressing down the chair of this hearing, and she was so angry with them when they want to talk about black folk and how everything is so in your face with the racism. And she went through a history, and she told them, black women fed your family. Your family sucked off the breast of black women. Black women raised your children. And you have the audacity to want to talk about and do the stuff that you're doing. I was like, you go, sister. So could you please, for me, tell her she has a big fan here in New Orleans. I love what she's doing. She's a strong female. She's a strong black woman. She stands up for everybody, and she needs to get her kudos, and I want to send kudos to her. And thank you for always bringing her down to New Orleans to talk to our community. Thank you, sir.
Well, God bless you, dear sister. I will do just that. I'm going to add a little bit to that. Thank you for recognizing her. She's an incredible leader. She's our former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and she singularly took on Donald Trump, filed a lawsuit that ultimately, as we speak, have people out with tools chipping Trump's name off of the Kennedy Center building.
She's a bad girl.
It was because of her lawsuit. It was because of her advocacy. It was because of her saying, oh, no, we're not letting this happen, that she prevailed in court. And now the Kennedy Center not only will be stripped of his name, it will no longer be under threat of demolition and closure. As you know, the president not only put his name on it, but then also was going to shut it down for 2 years to do a massive reconstruction. All of that has been permanently blocked. and the Kennedy Center is being restored back to its original prominence of honoring one of the greatest presidents our country's ever had, President John F. Kennedy.
I support everything she does. She's a bad girl.
Yes, she is. And I will see her in about 20 minutes, and I will absolutely pass this on to her.
All righty. Thank you, sir.
Lord's blessing, Alicia. Have a fabulous day.
Okay.
Okay. I think we've got time for one more. Good morning, Aaron. You're on with Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and, of course, Congressman Troy Carter.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning, Brother Aaron.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. First, shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. There needs to be a plan of action as far as, what we going to do as far as, how I keep on hearing y'all saying we got to take back, the White House, take back the House, the Senate, this, that, and the third. But I don't hear no plan on what we're going to do once that happens because, a lot of times once we get in situations like this, and we get back control of the White House and the House and the Senate, we start doing the same things that we fought to get free from. A lot of the people that's in control now. I mean, I hear this thing about what the Orange Man is doing and things like that, but we really don't have no plan to combat that. And also, a lot of people that's in power right now, they're talking about what the Orange Man is doing, but when you go back and look at their districts, they running their districts worse than we claiming what the Orange Man is doing to the United States. You dig? So we need to have a plan that's ready to roll. So when y'all do take back control or whatever like that, what things are going to be effective to make sure that we don't go back to what we just fought from with the Orange Man in power right now? So there you go. Y'all take it easy, man. Later.
All right. Fabulous. Thank you, Aaron. Lord's blessings. Have a good day. Congressman?
Aaron, as always, brother, appreciate your passion, appreciate your weighing in, and it's a we thing. The plans that we have are plans that we fight every single day to make sure that, as someone mentioned a call or two ago, the literally billions of dollars that I fought to bring back to Louisiana, that's real money. If you look at the programming from Lincoln Beach to securing the land around Southern University to providing opportunities for people to have health care, to creating opportunities for community-based organizations to be a part of environmental justice so they could have baseline monitoring and have access to programs that will allow communities to be a part of their own destiny to protect themselves from polluters, to making sure that our schools are funded and students can get good meals. Our fingerprints are all over the efforts that we continue to fight for. And unfortunately, in this system of government that we work in Washington, the person that controls the party is the one who controls the action. We have to be back in control. And when we are in control, we can demonstrate. We got receipts. It's not just talk. We got receipts. Billions of dollars that flow through Louisiana, billions of dollars that flow through our country to make sure. Now, the key is to make sure those dollars then, once they get to Louisiana, that they actually get to the places they're supposed to be. And that's where having a coordinated effort between federal, local, and state agencies and elected officials. Because, I can send millions and billions of dollars down here. If I don't have people at the state and local level ready to collect it and spend it properly, we still haven't addressed the issue. And that's why you're absolutely correct, Aaron. There's no easy solution. It's grit, it's hard work, it's commitment, it's standing up and calling truth to power. And people who don't do the right thing, got to get them out, got to move on, because we have too much to do. And it's time for us to not be scared. Stop being scared. Stop being cowards. Don't hang your head low. Stand up firm and strong and fight for the people. And then we will start to see the success that we deserve. But it's going to begin with us all working together and making sure that people get out and vote.
All right. Very good. Well, Congressman, you once again have provided us some time with our WBOK family of listeners to provide some context and information and insight, and we thank you for that. Of course, you have a podcast as well. You want to mention that?
Yeah, don't forget to watch or to listen wherever you listen to your podcast. Most prominently, I'd encourage you to listen to it right here on WBOK, What Makes America Tick, with your host, Congressman Troy Carter, where we talk to national, international, local leaders from every field of endeavor. This episode, we'll be talking to the Honorable Benny Thompson, the Chairman of Homeland Security, Chairman of the January 6th Commission, a tireless freedom fighter who will share with you the antidotes of his career, his passion, and his formula for success, and his decades of history of fighting for the rights of people. Join us at What Makes America Tick right here on WBOK.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. I know you got a number of things to take care of, and we appreciate you looking out for us and digging into the weeds where you know it will make a difference. So thank you.
Well, God bless you both.
again.
God bless WBOK. God bless all of our amazing listeners. Let's keep
All right.
fighting.
Lord's blessings,
All right.
sir.
Have a good one.
Have a good day. All right, folks. We are wrapping up this segment with Congressman Troy Carter. Good information.
Mm-hmm.
Good information. I have to say, coming out of left field, working with Congressman Clay Higgins. Woo!
Yeah. I actually had to read that press release twice.
Yeah, right. And for those who don't know why we are surprised and having these reactions, just look up Clay Higgins. And you will see. All right, look, it's 8:02 a.m., and we're going to be continuing with the Good Morning Show. And we're going to have our special guest calling in, Mr. Richelieu Dennis from Essence Festival. So we're going to have a chance to talk with him about moving forward from last year and moving into this year. And some of the things that happened last year have been addressed. And let's find out what those things were. And I had some suggestions, too. So I want to see what he thinks of those as we have this conversation with Eddie Francis and yours truly. That'll be coming up just after the break. Eddie, what's that talk line number for folks who might want to call a little later?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Climate Hope NOLA presents this month's climate keyword, adaptation. Climate adaptation means preparing our communities for stronger storms, hotter days, flooding, and rising water. That means planting trees, restoring wetlands, protecting homes, and helping families recover stronger after disasters. In New Orleans, resilience is part of who we are and how we survive. Learn more, stay informed, and take action with Climate Hope NOLA. Visit Team Hope NOLA on Instagram to learn more.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. See you on Saturday.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Former Congresswoman Katie Porter has conceded California's governor's race.
And it may take a few days here in California to have final numbers, but we know tonight that we will not advance to the general election in November.
Early results show Democrat Xavier Becerra and Republican Steve Hilton in a tight race for first, with Democrat Tom Steyer trailing. Jury selection is underway in a closely watched Texas murder trial. Black 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony is accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet last year during an argument over seating in the stands. The defense is expected to argue self-defense. And the U.S. Supreme Court has approved a Republican-drawn congressional map in Alabama. The ruling overturns a lower court decision and allows the map to be used in the midterms, even as critics argue it weakens black voting power. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning.
Good conversation with Congressman Troy Carter. Fascinating things. Working together with Clay Higgins on seafood related items, and that suicide prevention always important. I don't think we can do enough because it continues to happen. As long as one person is doing that, I think we have to just keep at it.
Yep.
Hard to keep track of those that were almost doing it and didn't do it and all, but we can look at the numbers and see how it continues and do what we can with that. It is 8:07 a.m. You got to be there at 8:10. You got 3 minutes, and 8:15 you got a few more minutes. So please, please, please be safe and make sure you get there in one piece. You only have one life, but you have limited amounts of time, so make sure you use it wisely. We're going to jump into conversation with Mr. Richard Lou Dennis. He is the founder, the executive chair, the head intern, as he likes to say, of Sundial Group. And a lot of you all may remember the Shea line, which was his, and he built that thing. And he, of course, is the head guy for the organization for the Essence Festival. You'll see a number of other high-ranking organization leaders taking care of business, but he is the head intern, the main guy with the Essence Festival, our annual partner for 30 or so years here in New Orleans. Good morning, Mr. Dennis. How are you?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, you're on with...
It's a pleasure to be back with you.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back. I know these kinds of things are not easy to line up, and it's not something you can do like every day, every week, or even every month. So appreciate you joining us. I'm here with Eddie Francis, so the other voice you hear is Eddie's. So
good morning, Eddie.
Morning.
So one of the things that I want to take note of is you were in town a few weeks ago with other Essence representatives with a news conference and preview and a big announcement at the Morial Convention Center. And you delivered some pretty big news that Michelle Obama is going to be at this year's Essence Festival. And I think that surprised a number of people. And I think that was the kind of thing that people looking forward to. What is the bounce back going to look like after things that happened last year? So there were some other things announced as well. And we're going to get to some more of what's coming up with Essence Fest this year. But I want to go to
exciting times. Well, exciting times.
Indeed. And you addressed this to a degree when you were there, and I appreciate the shout out that I promised Will last year that. Okay. But let's go to some of the things that I put in my column in July 2025, talking about things for moving forward. So I was not one of the haters saying, do away with Essence. I don't care. I wrote that we're going to have to grow together. Essence was a baby, has become an adult and capable of making its own decisions, but we have a partnership, and what can we do? So one of the things I pointed to was the need for consistent Essence leadership, not knowing who to expect, who to listen to, who might we consider following, whether the person lives here or not. And maybe that person comes several times a year. Can you address the consistency of your leadership team? Where do you stand now since last year?
Yeah, well. First of all, I want to shout out all of the folks in New Orleans that work with us, that support us, that are helping us put on this massive festival, and we're very excited about 2026 and the partnership with the people of New Orleans and how they continue to show up for us and how we continue to show up for them. So very exciting times. You're right, we were there not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we announced Mrs. Obama to open up the festival on Friday night with her IMO podcast, On the Look. And so we're very excited about that. And what we've been saying is that, Essence is a festival that celebrates our entire culture, right? And to bring that culture to bear in all of its glory. And so, this is just one more example of that. And in addition to Mrs. Obama, where we also shared that we're launching a creator and podcast festival, which we expect to be the biggest one that this country has seen, because it is important that as the world moves forward, and as Essence moves forward, and as New Orleans moves forward, we're connecting all of the dots within our ecosystem to try to build new structures, new infrastructures, new opportunities. And so bringing a creator and a podcast festival inside of the Essence Festival culture, inside of New Orleans, now gives those creators in New Orleans and those podcasters in New Orleans a national platform, right? And access to national advertisers and access to national talent, as well as for brands to see them. So we're excited about the work that we're doing. And so in order to do those things, we have to be well ingrained in the community. We have to spend time in the community. And so that's what we've been doing from our chief community officer. She's probably there at least, once a month, sometimes twice a month. And her team that are working on our C3 program, which is our community commerce program, which is working with the small local businesses that we work with. So one of the things that I don't think people really know or may not appreciate is that Essence brings some, I don't know, tens of thousands of jobs thousands of jobs to New Orleans when we come. And so coordinating with all of those people, working through all of the logistics of putting on something like this requires that we spend time there. So we're spending time there. Like I said, we have team members there. We have employees that are from New Orleans, that live in New Orleans. So we're moving forward with what we said we were going to do, and a lot of it, Will, as I shared, are things that we already do and did. It's just being more public about it and sharing it and giving people more access to the information. And so we're excited about what we've accomplished over the past almost 12 months now, and looking forward to having everybody else see the results of that.
All right. So one of the things I suggested thinking about was something that might be called the Essence House or Essence Family Center or Essence Vibe or something like that, with more of a year-round presence. Not suggesting there's some massive structure or anything, but having people here once a month is good, and people want to see the Essence flag. I mean, that was just an idea that I put out there. What do you think about Essence House?
Yeah, so I think the idea is a good one. We've got to build up to it, right? So the first thing is, one of the reasons that we've been successful is because we focus heavily on making sure we have the right infrastructure, making sure we have the right teammates, and then we build upon that, right? So this past year has been about building infrastructure, rebuilding relationships, establishing the ecosystem. And then I think what you will see from us next year is more of what you're suggesting. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. We've just got to make sure we have all of the right things and the right touch points in place so that when we do it, we're able to do it with scale and we're able to do it successfully.
So a couple other
things. And sustainably.
Yeah. Another couple of things, we're having some type of local, regional, or state committee with representatives from the different entities that play a role with Essence, and have them work together across the year. And perhaps a Essence coalition is what I called it, kind of a boots on the ground of sisters in particular, because it is Essence to be a regular part. Now, there seems to have been some movement in that direction. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was going to say, so we've done that, right? So we have a steering committee in partnership with the mayor's office. That has been going very well. We have a host committee with some of the local businesses involved. So we're definitely putting those things in place, and we have put some of those things in place. So we're excited about that, and there's more to do, right? So one of the things is trying not to boil the ocean. We know that there's a lot of work to do. We want to make sure we prioritize them and execute each of them flawlessly. And so that's what we're doing. But yes, so we've started doing that, and I think you will see that start to evolve as well into sort of, let's call them sub-chapters, because we focus on different parts of culture, right? So we certainly focus on the economics. So we're doing lots of things with local businesses and employment and that sort of stuff. We're also focused on the arts. And I just talked about the podcast and creator festival. So that's going to really help in building that community and driving things in that community. So we're going to continue to do that. So we won't just have like one sort of big committee that sits down and thinks about, hey, where do we go next? What we will also have is sort of subcommittees on different areas of culture that will be working to build the infrastructure and ecosystem to make these things grow and sustain and scale. So that's you're hitting all the points, Will. You're hitting all of them.
Okay, and
or at least maybe I was just listening and I'm and I'm hitting them.
Okay.
But we're doing the things.
These were just points that I made, and I can't make any of those happen or say yes or no. But you can as the head intern. So another point I made, and then Eddie Francis has a question, is to engage Black media. Oftentimes we have big Black events, some of them actually, as you know, white-owned and operated. And then we have some that are Black-owned and operated, but the local Black media doesn't feel involved and connected. And so we have a number of Black-owned and operated outlets, of course, WBOK, Louisiana Weekly, New Orleans Tribune, New Orleans Data News Weekly. What's your thinking about connecting with Black media locally?
Yeah, so look, well, the challenges that Black media is facing locally are, by and large, the same, albeit maybe a little bit more intense, but albeit the same that Black media is facing nationally, right? Black media is under attack. The investment dollars aren't going to us. The media spends aren't going to us. We, aren't necessarily having the same opportunities as other platforms have, and so we're very cognizant of that because we face that as well. And so we've really been intentional in figuring out ways to work with local media, and I think the patience that we've all had to show in these current times around where sponsorship dollars come from, where advertising dollars come from, what value is ascribed to that. We're all battling those, and so we've got to battle them together. We're stronger together. So finding ways to work together, finding opportunities to develop things together, finding ways to spend with each other. Those are all things that we're actively doing, and you'll see it. You'll see that I make it a point that when I'm giving an interview in New Orleans, you notice that the Black media outlets are the ones that are invited. When I'm doing those interviews or when we're doing the press conference, we're making sure that Black media is very well connected to it, involved with it, and have the access. So we're focused on that. And then as we spend on media, we spend with Black media as well. The opportunities here are we've got to collectively find ways to drive more dollars into Black media. It's what is happening out there is devastating to our businesses, and we're losing media entities by the day. And I think it's something that's really important that we as a community understand, because as we lose them one by one, that means that there's fewer and fewer places for us to express our ideas, for us to develop those ideas, for us to develop talent, for us to earn a living. So this is an existential threat to not just Black media and Black business, but to the Black community as a whole, because then we no longer are having a voice in the narratives that our community sees. So extremely important and top of our priority list is to make sure that we're finding ways to cooperate and to build together.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Eddie has a question, and we'll wind down with just a few more and have some more questions about what excitement we're going to see in July. We're in conversation with Mr. Richelieu Dennis from Essence Festival, and we're having a good conversation, serious conversation about Essence Festival, and we're going to be getting to some more exciting news about what's coming as well. All right, we're going to have a break right now. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are today's headlines. The New Orleans Police Department is set to discuss public safety enforcement after they say they learned about an upcoming illegal street takeover. We did not get any more details on what this street takeover means or when it is supposed to happen. NOPD will hold a news conference at 1:30 this afternoon. A judge is giving both sides more time in the appeal of a former New Orleans police officer sitting right now on death row. Antoinette Frank killed her partner and 2 restaurant owners during a robbery in 1995 in New Orleans East. At a hearing yesterday, Frank now alleges that her co-defendant put a gun to her head, and that is why she shot and killed the victims. Investigators also say some of the evidence may be missing or could have been destroyed during Hurricane Katrina. The judge says both sides have until October to say why or why not Frank should get post-conviction relief. And Governor Jeff Landry says he will sign the bill that cuts down the number of Orleans judges. That bill was supposed to eliminate 3 criminal court judges in a first-in, last-out formula, but in an 11th-hour decision, lawmakers decided to remove seasoned judge Rhonda Good Douglas. It has received backlash, including from the governor, who said the bill removed one of the best from the bench. On social media, Governor Jeff Landry blamed Democratic State Senator Gary Carter, saying that he manipulated the bill to protect a family member's job. Carter responded, saying that he was opposed to cutting the judges, but did not address the allegation about working to protect a family member. And that is a look for you at today's headlines. I'm Elizabeth Kubel for WBOK. Have a great day, everyone.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com. Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Greetings and salutations. I am Elwood B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Slightly drier feel to the air as we are looking at slightly lower humidity. Highs today will still be into the low to mid 80s, partly cloudy skies. We're also still looking at some scattered chances for showers and thunderstorms, especially for the afternoon. Not looking at a whole lot, though, compared to previous days. As we are heading into Friday on into the weekend, an increased chance for rain as Gulf moisture starts to move in our area. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reshaw.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the morning show. It is 8:29 a.m. You got to be somewhere at 8:30. I sure hope you're walking to where that is in your home or walking to your desk because you got 1 minute to get there. If you got to drive somewhere, hopefully you will not be one of the crazy drivers today, and you will take your time to make sure you get there. I'm Will Sutton. With me is Eddie Francis, and we are in conversation with Richard Lou Dennis, top guy, head intern with Sundial, and leader of the Essence Festival. Eddie, you got a question?
Yeah, Mr. Dennis, you know, there are
Hey,
people.
Eddie.
Hey, how you doing? There are people, locals, obviously, who have had a lot of questions. They've been critical, but there are also those locals who are still very much excited about Essence Fest. And one of the issues that's been a hot topic button for locals has been the clean zones. Now, I know that that's a layered issue. It's not a I know there are a lot of moving parts to it, and I also know it's
and by the way, it's not just an Essence issue, right?
Right,
anybody that
exactly.
does a large scale event there.
Yeah,
I think sometimes people equate it to it being an Essence issue. It's not just an Essence issue.
Exactly,
Go ahead.
and I definitely want to point that out as well. But with Essence being an event that locals still very much treasure and like and enjoy, how can locals who want to be part of the festival, especially local Black businesses, local Black entrepreneurs who definitely want to share in the Essence opportunity, how can they share in those opportunities more and still respect the Essence brand at the same time?
Yeah, I think with us, with Essence, the difference between Essence and other large events that come to town, Essence is there purely and solely to serve our community, right, and to create opportunities for our community and to grow those opportunities within our community. So the narrative that is taken hold around the clean zone and you know with businesses not having opportunities, just quite frankly, it's just not true. The challenge has been when people use or businesses use the Essence brand and namesake without permission to drive their own business agendas. That could sometimes, and the last issue we had was in direct conflict with something that we're offering to our community for free. Other people were charging for, and that is not a good look for our community, not for our business, not for our community. But other than that, we're very, very easy to engage with. We're actively out engaging with these businesses, and like I say, you know, those are the things that don't get talked about. You know, we spend a considerable amount of money with Black businesses, and it's all public and it's all I don't have the data in front of me, but it's all public and it's on our site, and we can share those numbers with you. They're staggering numbers when you come to think about it. But when you hear critics online, they make it seem like, you know, we're not doing that, and nothing could be further from the truth. But to specifically answer your question around how we go forward, we're figuring out, and this year is a prime example of that, just easier ways. One, it starts with meeting with the community on a regular basis, which we're doing. Two, it's saying, hey, if you want to be a registered partner for Essence, all you have to do is to send us an email with your request. We can reach out to all the people that we want to, but by and large, we need to have people coming in and reaching out to us as well. So if you go to the EssenceFestival.com website, there's sections in there where people can email us asking for information. There's sections in there where they can register to be partners. So all of that information exists. We've never been ones to say, hey, we don't want you to partner with us. All we're saying is, hey, there's a process and there's a system. So let's go through that process and system so that nobody's doing harm to the other. And most importantly for us is to make sure that our community is getting what it is that people are telling them that that they're getting, and that is being delivered in against a standard that makes all of us proud. So the reality of it is we're here, we're open, we're engaging, we're thriving, we're actively pursuing all the ways we can do business in New Orleans and do business in Louisiana and do business with people locally and give them access to do business when the festival comes to town. I know when the festival comes to town, there's a considerable amount of dollars that people bring into town. We want to make sure that those dollars are spent in our community, and so we're doing everything to promote that. And you'll see even more of that this year, more intentional, more volumes of it. But we've always done that, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay.
That's the backbone of everything we do.
Yeah, I know you have just a few more minutes, and so let's get to some of the money part and all. So you all made a request for $10 million to $12 million annually from the city, the state, other entities to help cover the costs of the festival, especially rising operational costs. So it wasn't a one-time give us $10 million to $12 million to work with, but you're coming up on the end of the Essence contract. Everybody, you all, the city of New Orleans, state of Louisiana, everybody wants to continue this relationship. And so you all suggested one way of considering that is what more you can do. And it gets to kind of more year-round in different locations, if I'm reading that correctly. But the request for $10 to $12 million annually. There was a response from Mayor Helena Moreno, which asked for specific information, including the status of payments to vendors from last year. And the legislature just ended, and maybe I didn't look in all the right places, but I didn't see any allocation for Essence Festival. Did you all make a request to the legislature specifically, and where do these things stand with your proposal to the city and the state for the $10 to $12 million?
Yeah, so I think it's twofold. One is that was built on and is based on the work that we currently do and the work that we are planning to do and laying out to do, right? When we talk about building infrastructure and ecosystem and how we develop the local businesses alongside the Essence business in New Orleans. The second part of that is not a request of just the city and state. We're also talking about local partners, local corporate partners, local social partners. So different places within the community and within the state that can benefit from what we bring and what we build. So it's a broad conversation with many different partners and many different players, and so we're excited about the conversations we're having with the city. We have great relationships, I think, with the city and with the state. And we'll continue to have those conversations, and hopefully we'll get to a place where it can work for everybody. You know, there's other entities that come in and get funded that are not bringing the same level of economic impact that we bring. And not that we want to compare against others, but the reality of it is that we come every year. We bring it every year. We just had the Super Bowl there. The Super Bowl is not there every year. Right. But we're there every year. We're in the community every year. We're building every year, and we look forward to continue to work with our partners to make sure that we continue to deliver at a high level.
Now, did Essence make a financial request of the state legislature?
The conversations have been happening with the city and the state. As we're having these conversations, I don't think it's appropriate for me to start to comment on that. But we continue to work with our partners, and we're working well with them.
Okay. And with the coming Essence Festival, you look at this $10 to $12 million request. Somebody might think that sounds like a lot of money. But correct me if I'm wrong, what you're looking at is what Essence provides to the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana, and looking at, for business purposes, other events and activities that get millions of dollars for other types of events. So that $10 to $12 million wouldn't be a one-time thing, but over the course of a period of time where Essence would have a commitment to the city of New Orleans and state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yes, and vice versa, right? And that the city and state would have a commitment to Essence. And you're right. $10 to $12 million sounds like it's a big number. I shouldn't say it sounds. It is a big number.
Yeah.
But when you think about the value that we bring and what we're creating, economic impact last year was north of $320 million in a year where DEI issues were raised. There was significant amounts of scaling back of. You talked earlier about the state of Black media, the scaling back of investment in Black media, the scaling back of investment in the Black community, and we still delivered our commitments and our promises, and even went above it. And if you go back and you take a look at the last 3 to 4 years, the impact that we've brought to the city and state of New Orleans and state of Louisiana is over $1.2 billion, right? So it's not a while $10 million or $12 million is not a number for anybody to be dismissive of. It is also a number that is delivering an exceptional amount of value for our partnership, and will allow us and enable us to continue to deliver that high level of value. As I said earlier, this year we're bringing a podcast and a creator festival inside of the larger festival, which is going to create a tremendous amount of value for the city and state, and for the creators in the city and in the state, as well as for those people that are building new media businesses in the city and state. Last year, we gave out 5 book deals in partnership with PRH. We gave out 5 book deals to authors there. The film festival, the films came in, won 2 Emmys last year. So we're doing important work there. We're developing important infrastructure, and we're driving important scale. What we need is the stability to know that we have a partner that is going to be with us to continue to do this work as the world around us changes so rapidly.
Okay, well, we're going to let you go. Before I let you go, let me just say, Cardi B, Patti LaBelle, Brandy, Monica. A concert with one of those people would be an enjoyable evening or afternoon, and you're going to have all of them?
And let's not forget George Clinton and 50 years of the mothership. People forget that the mothership launched in New Orleans 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that back, right? That's the value of Essence, and the value of our partnership with New Orleans. New Orleans is such a rich cultural and historical city. It is one of the cornerstones of Black culture here and anywhere. When you think of Congo Square, and you think of Black Americans built this country, and New Orleans has been the epicenter of that, right? Certainly one of the epicenters of that. And so we're excited to continue to build here, and then to bring those that level of talent all there for one weekend, as well as celebrating some of the local talent there and giving them stage moments and developing. It's a I'm very, very proud of what we do, and I'm very, very excited about the opportunity to continue to do that. And when people think about Essence, they should be thinking about the almost 60 years that it's been around, and should be thinking about the next 60. And all the things that you're seeing us doing is to ensure that Essence is around for the next 60 and that it is strong and thriving. And so we're excited, man. We're really excited about what we're doing. And we got some big announcements for you guys tomorrow, too. So we're excited about that. More to come.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate your making some time for our WBOK family of listeners. I know you are traveling, so appreciate your flexibility to make this happen. Lord's blessings, and have a great day.
And thank you both. And thank you to the people in New Orleans.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, Eddie. That's an informative conversation, and thanks for hitting on some of the things that, that's what people are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, so that's important. All right, it is 8:46 a.m. We're going to be coming up on the end of the Good Morning Show, and we'll be getting ready to make room for the front porch, which will be coming up right after us. We might have time for a call or two. Eddie, what is that phone number?
504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right, you got something to say, something to ask. We'd love to hear from you. You can ask us a question, and if we can't give you an answer, we'll at least give you a response of some kind. All right? This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal is partnering with a tech wonderland right in the middle of New York City. It's called Tomorrow, stylized as TM:RW. And it's designed to showcase the tech and innovation of the future.
Robots, dog robots, holograms, headphones, glasses, meta glasses, just, it's a beautiful place to be. And I think if you're ever in Times Square, you should definitely check it out.
In this conversation on Bloomberg, Shaq explained why he decided to throw his money behind the Times Square-based store.
Well, I always invest in things that I first believe in and, things that are going to change people's lives. This is something that, there's not really a lot of competition out there. And I know once people come inside the store, they will love what they see and they will fall in love with what they see.
Stop by and you might even see Shaq himself, or maybe even a hologram of him.
A beautiful, sexy hologram. It's a hologram, a beautiful, sexy hologram.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Louisiana has one of the highest incarceration rates in the world when adjusted per capita, not to mention its dubious distinction of locking up a higher percentage of its residents than any other state in the entire country. As if not satisfied with that sorry record of infamy, here comes Governor Jeff Landry, our lord of lock 'em up and throw away the key, with a $798 million corrections budget proposal to add even more beds at the state penitentiaries to imprison even more residents. Now, that's an $82 million increase for the correction budget, while at the same time slicing the education budget by $165 million. This makes as much sense as tits on a chicken. Critics opine that it would make far more sense to use that revenue on education and mental health programs. Moreover, it would be less expensive. Here's the breakdown on that. It's costing about $23,000 to $30,000 a year in Louisiana to incarcerate someone, compared to roughly $15,000 a year to educate a student K through 12. Sadly, state taxpayers are spending around $10,000 to $15,000 more a year to keep someone locked up than they spend on a child's public education. And ironically, it's the governor who's adding to prison overcrowding via his harsh so-called prison reform policies. The number of prisoners paroled during Landry's tenure has declined to its lowest in 20 years. Critics say it's because parole decisions are not made by the parole board anymore, but are being made according to computerized algorithms. You know, there's an old saying about programming computers. Garbage in, garbage out. My message to the governor and his supermajority conservative GOP allies in the legislature is stop treating people like garbage, damn it. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK 1230 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Eddie Francis. We just finished up a conversation with Richard Lou Dennis of Sundial Media, Sundial Group, and Essence Festival. So, what do you think, Eddie? Are we on the path to have an improved Essence experience from last year?
It depends on who you ask. It truly depends. I mean, because one of the things that I'm curious about is, there is a registration process for the, for local businesses, black businesses. Let me emphasize black businesses and black entrepreneurs to get involved. what I don't know if they have this in place or not. What I would like to see is some sort of education on that process and what that process looks like, as opposed to people just going to a website and just filling some stuff out. Because one of the things that I've experienced, especially with small solopreneur businesses, small local businesses, is a lot of times they may not necessarily know exactly how to manage the process successfully. They get rejected for something. They have no idea why they got rejected. And they see other businesses, and let's be blunt, they see white businesses get some of the businesses that they want, and they feel as if they got blindsided by Essence. And so I would like to see some sort of education process for that. And again, I don't know if that exists or not. So I think if you ask a lot of Black local businesses, there's probably a mixed review. Now, the people coming to town to see the Essence Fest, oh yeah, they're going to love it one way or the other, 9 times out of 10, except for when one of the acts gets on stage at 2 a.m. But you know, that's the thing. And so I really think that you can call it a success if small local Black businesses understand the process of getting involved, and they feel as if they were fairly treated, even if they get rejected for opportunities. And so I think that's the thing. But there definitely needs to be some sort of education process to figure out, you know, how you do it. And I think there needs to be transparency around, hey, listen, we only have this number of slots, say for small, you know, for somebody who wants to do, if you want to bring your barbecue pit out within the clean zone, we only have this many spots for barbecue pits, right? For example, I think that kind of transparency settles people down and lets them know, okay, well, there's a chance I can make it. There's a chance I won't make it, you know, and they're probably, you know, 100 people barbecue pits, you know, trying to get in the clean zone, and I may or may not make it. So anyway, I think it depends on who you ask. Yeah.
Well, and you know, I think it's interesting that you bring that up, because it's not a reinventing the wheel kind of thing, because prior to the NFL Super Bowl being here, the NFL was quite deliberate and intentional about creating a supplier diversity program.
They were.
And so it's like, come one and come all. Here is what it takes to be a part of the Super Bowl.
I applied for that program.
Inside, outside, in advance, last minute. How did this one get it? Well, we're going to let them tell you. Here they are. And we're going to tell you how these got elevated from a small business that became a bigger business, and now with the traveling roadshow of the NFL. And I really appreciated that they did that. And it wasn't that everybody got a contract.
Right.
But they learned what it takes, and you have to have this in place, and you have to have that in place, and you have to do this by this time. And a number of businesses did get to work with the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was here and then gone, but that also kind of clarified, well, what can I do to work with the Saints?
Yeah.
You know, so I went to a couple of their events, and not to seek business, but I knew a number of people who were there to do that, and I think it was a really good program.
Yeah, I applied for the program, and when I went through that process, going through that application process, I realized what my chances were.
Yeah.
So when I didn't make it, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't upset. I was disappointed, but I was neither surprised nor upset, and I didn't hold it against the NFL because I felt that there was enough information for me to understand what my chances were of making it.
Right.
And so I think Essence needs to look at that kind of model.
All right. Good point. Excellent point. Excellent point. All right, look, folks, we got to wrap it up here and make way for the front porch. I'm Will Sutton with Eddie Francis. Good show today with Congressman Troy Carter and with Essence Festival's Richelieu Dennis. And thank you, Reverend Calhoun, for calling in. And thank those of you all who have been chiming in on Facebook Live. and those watching on YouTube as well. We're going to call it a wrap here, and Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow. You going to come back, Eddie?
Yep, I'll be here.
All right. Well, we're going to close out the week with another Good Morning Show. All right. We're going to call it a wrap. Get ready for the front porch coming up next, right after us. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.